Hello, entrepreneurs. Let's talk relationships. No, I'm not trying to be your life coach, although I do have clients that I offer that for. That's a different thing. Right now, we're talking about business. And business is all about relationships. You have to have a certain amount of trust to do business with people and for them to do business with you, especially in my line of work as a tax preparer and a bookkeeper, because I'm looking at the finances. But business is all about relationship no matter how you look at it. And one of the first things you have to do going into business is you have to be clear about what you offer, who you are, and how much you charge for that service. I say that because it's so easy to get lost in doing business. People will always ask you for help. And what I have learned when they ask for help, they are asking for you to provide for them a free service. My first thing is to always get a clarification. And I haven't always been that bold or that sure or that confident. Over years in doing business and owning my own business has taught me to be very clear and to be very transparent. While it's nice to help people, and especially when you connect on different levels, people will always push the envelope and they'll start to ask you for things that is inappropriate. Remember, everything you do, no matter whether it's an hour conversation or a 30-minute conversation or a 5-minute conversation, that is your time. And whenever you have knowledge and you provide someone with that knowledge, that is time that you can never get back. And that is knowledge that you can never track. I tell people all the time when we talk about consultations, and I used to do a free consultation. And then I realized that number one, I wasn't always timing the consultations and keeping them to 30 minutes. Number two, I was giving out information that people would in turn take. They would use it, they would find other people, and then a lot of them would come. I would get some that would come back and they would compare it to other people, and basically they didn't respect the freeness of it. So then it was always, okay, well, what about this and what about that? And you said this. Because think about it, in a consultation, I'm trying to give you in 30 minutes something that will develop and grow over a lifetime. And that's not always easy. And then I'm using accounting terms because that's what I do. I do accounting, I do bookkeeping, and everybody's understanding of that is going to be different. So what I say and what you hear are two different things. Thirdly, people always wanted more. Anytime, one thing I've learned in doing business, anytime you give somebody something free or at a discount, in your mind you may be thinking you're offering a service and you're doing something nice, but what people get from it in business is that they take it as you don't know what you're doing, and they do not respect that they do not pay for, and they will begin to ask you for more and more and more. I have never ever given a discount to someone and did less work. They actually wanted more. They wanted more time. Those are people I had to prove things to. They would go talk to their beautician or a barber or a friend who knew about taxes, somebody who looked at the IRS, and I was always having to compare and to prove what I was doing because I offered something at a discount when I should have charged regular price. People respect what they pay for. And when they pay for a service, they pay attention. So I'm telling you, when it comes to business, you got to be real clear about what you're doing. Be clear about what you're selling. Be clear about who you are, and be clear about how much you charge. Never allow people to make you feel bad about what you're doing. That's just wrong, and that's just out of place, and it's out of line. Make sure that you let them know up front, this is who I am, this is how much my services cost. Make sure you have the understanding of what they think you're doing and what you're doing. Have it in black and white. Business relationships are always good until they're not. That's the way it works. Everybody's happy until they're not happy, and you don't know it, and by the time they're not happy, it comes out of the blue. I'll never forget, and I'm gonna close with this. I had a client, and That client had been in business for a while. And for somebody like me, I hadn't been in business as long as they had. And I was so, they had won awards and they had done so well. And soon I learned that, number one, a lot of awards, check them out, you pay for some awards. Like, they will vet you out a little bit, but bottom line, if you can pay for it, it's exposure. And it gives you a higher class, but it doesn't mean you really earned it. Like sometimes when magazines said name the best restaurant, they send those out to a lot of places. The people who can pay for the advertising are the ones that get it. And so with this client, I soon learned that. Well, they were going through a rough time, and I was so patient. I put in hours. There was not a day that we didn't speak on the phone while they were going through their financial situation for no less than an hour discussing. I was able to help them on so many levels. They came to me for one thing. We grew to do two things, and I ended up providing multiple services as well as information. As soon as that client received the money where they were going to pay me, everything that I had done for them all of a sudden was wrong. It was incorrect. They had somebody else look at it. They wasn't sure. And every bit of the time that I had put in was gone. I will never forget that lesson. That person taught me so much. And not in a good way. But I learned really quickly to do business. I made sure from now on that whenever I talk to people, I'm clear and you pay for my services, and that's that. I don't sugarcoat. I don't, discount my service price. The price is what it is. You want excellence, you want my knowledge, and I always tell people, if they ask for a discount, I say fine if I don't have to use all of my brain. Sometimes you're not paying just for how long it took someone to do something. You're paying for years of services, years of information and knowledge that they put together in a package in order to provide a service for you. So, like I always tell people, respect everybody's business. This is all about reciprocity. And the way you treat businesses is the same way someone's going to treat yours. It's your girl, the Queen Bee of doing business better, saying do business and do it better and do it great and be great and treat others the way you want to be treated. Bye-bye.